on somebody's privacy per se,
Yeah.
because you know you're there to watch the game of tennis. You're not there to entertain other people with your that's your free time. That's the time,
Mm.
you want to be. You don't want people taking pictures of you. So I think it's very needed. It is needed that people that do deserve it and have them and can afford it, because those kind of people, they actually attract their own crowds.
Mm.
So if you're going to an event, a sporting event, and they say, and somebody does a name drop like so and so going to be there, it makes him more, it gives him a bit more prominence. It gives a bit more prominence to the event.
Mm.
And so, yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they do deserve to be protected from, I mean, if people don't walk up to them and there's no chance of that happening, then yeah, I mean, if they're amongst their fellow celebrities or people of the same high caliber like they are, that they seem to be free because they know they're not
Mm.
going to get any form of intrusion. But when it's something that, anybody can go to, which rightly is so, I think they deserve to be protected. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all very valid. I probably would agree with that. The only comment at the end I might question is when you said anybody can go to. I mean, theoretically that's true, but a lot of people try to get tickets and fail. It's a bit like,
All right.
going to this year's Oasis concert, which I think was done through Ticketmaster and things like that.
Yeah.
There's usually far more people wanting tickets for these
Right.
things
All right.
than you can get. But yeah, in theory, people are able to go there, and I agree with you that it's probably only right that people are not hassled by people in the crowd. I don't somehow think they would be at Wimbledon, but I suppose they will create a stir if you suddenly found you were sitting next to, I don't know, anyone famous. You suddenly find you were sitting next to David Beckham because he's
Yeah.
usually there with his mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably think, oh, should I speak or should I not? So that's a valid thing. I think in France, where they don't have a royal family, of course, they have what they call a presidential box for the same purpose that people can go and have a bit of peace and quiet. Well, one person I've always quite admired musically in terms of this subject is Ed Sheeran because he's an ardent Ipswich Town supporter, and
Right.
invariably on Match of the Day or whatever. The camera will always find him somewhere in the crowd of supporters, and I think that's good. And he doesn't. I think he's probably well known there for doing that, but I think there's something good about that. And of course, the other thing, just to mention finally about tennis, and it is a
Yeah.
great game, it's a very good game,
Yeah.
but it used to be, not so much now, I'm glad to say, but it used to be a bit exclusive. It tended to, and certainly with table tennis,
Right.
uh, that tended to start in those days, in the 1800s, with more moneyed people. The upper classes tended to play it. And that, in
Right.
a sense, spread to tennis. In this country, it was thought always to be not particularly inclusive. It wasn't something for the boy in the street, the man in the street, the girl in the
Yeah.
street. It
Yeah.
has become that now because let's face it, anybody can go and join a tennis club,
Yeah.
and they're few and far, not few and far between. There's many of them around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's come out of those sort of background, but yeah, it's a great game, and they maintain at Wimbledon their tradition. Out of those sort of background. But yeah, it's a great game, and they maintain at Wimbledon their traditions, don't they? Of all players have to wear white, which doesn't happen anywhere else. And I always assumed the players wouldn't like that, but when you actually read up some of their biographies, autobiographies, they all seem to like the fact that it is codified in that traditional way. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah,
So that's tennis. What about golf? Have you ever played golf at all?
I have. I have, but when I did play golf, when I did play golf, I think about 3 times when I played golf, um, it was for the business side of it. So I was chasing certain things, contracts and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and and I felt the need to sort of mingle with those kind of, that kind of crowd. Um, I found them boring. I like the game of golf.
You found the people boring.
I found the people that play
Oh,
golf
did you?
boring.
Yeah,
So
really.
it's you have to, well, you have to carry this, bag with, the whatever what you used to kick it, and you have to find this.
You can push a trolley. You can put it on a trolley.
I know
You don't have to carry it.
I couldn't afford a trolley when I did. Um, so I had to carry this bag all around 9 holes. So we have to go around these 9 holes, and I was pretty really bad at it. But you had to walk around with these people, and they just talked about. It was good what they were talking about. They were talking about business. Um,
Hmm.
but then, there wasn't anything social there. It was strictly, business. They were just talking. Oh yeah, this and that. This is how you do this, and I thought, I love business, but do I
Hmm.
want to listen to somebody chat about business all day long? Because I was there for about 4 or 5 hours, just walking around because it's a really big. You know how golf is anyway. It's a really big yard, and you have to go round and round and round and round to this, and it takes a good walk. It's a good exercise.
Hmm.
It's a
It
good.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, but you
really.
say you you say 9 holes, but if it was 4 or 5 hours, it would have been the normal 18 holes. I would have thought,
All
because
right.
9 holes wouldn't. And a golf course is 18 holes, but people
Right.
do play 9 holes sometimes. That's true. But
Yeah.
also, from your point of view, if it was kind of a bit of a hospital.